Yeah, I kind of accidentally made a cathedral. Hello and welcome back to Horsecraft. So I haven't actually posted Horsecraft in a while, and you may be wondering why. And there's been a lot of stuff going on. I got very sick, I had a family emergency, and I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do moving forward with this game. And I have this beautiful little village starting, I have the bridge, I have the stables. I just really wanted to step up my game, build something a little bit bigger this time. So let's get into the speed build. So before this, I spent a good, let's say 3 days prepping all the supplies. I had multiple chests just absolutely full of deep slate and had set out the netherrack area. My plan was to just make, like a small church. I was going to go for a gothic style because I'm doing gothic for this whole sort of little town I'm building over here. And I was like trying to cover up the place I put the nether portal and the little under area I had. So I had a bunch of storage chests. Most of them were full, so periodically you'll see me having to take a couple breaks here and there. But I had spent like 3 or 4 days just getting these supplies. One of the reasons it took forever, in my opinion. Here I am just putting in the floor. I decided not to go anything complex with the floor because the rest of the build was going to be so complex. This took me 2 hours. Those red dotted nether brick are just to mark the center line. As you can see in the corner, I have the subtitles placed on. I tend to not play with sound when I'm working on builds, so I put on the subtitles just to make sure I don't miss anything. Honestly, I often just play with subtitles anyway, it's just easier for me. And you can see I'm putting in the deep slate tiles as the main building block. Oh, I got exploded by a creeper while I was trying to collect things. I was very upset. And then I got attacked by a bunch of these guys, and I got my dogs to come help save me because I kept getting attacked. And because I kept getting attacked, I decided I needed more arrows. So I went down to get those. Took Paladin with me to keep me safe. And luckily those guys despawned, so I just took out the zombie pigmen that came through. I made a little entrance to the basement on the sides just to make sure that I could get into that under area. This is at 2500 speed, or 1500 speed. I think it's 1500 speed. I think in the end this also took me about an hour. No idea why I just left my keyboard. Yeah, here we go. Me remembering. We're gonna be cutting that. And the first thing I wanted to get in was the door, because the door was going to be a focal point. So I wanted all the focus of the door to be like really detailed, and I wanted to make sure it was all centered on that door. Because like the walls are going to be nice, everything's going to be nice, but nothing's going to be as detailed as that door. I used 3 different types of deep slate block stairs to build this properly. This again took me probably 2 hours, 3 hours. Working with stairs can be really rewarding, but it can also be really frustrating. So once I finally got all of this frame done, I was going to go fill it in, but I didn't have enough shroom lights to fill it in the end. So I decided to just do some more edging just to make sure that like the edge of the build was a little bit more defined. And you might see me put in the command to clear the weather. I was just having so much lag when the weather was snowing, and I just couldn't build with that lag. So yeah, here's where I realized I just did not have enough shroom lights for the build. I was barely able to fill this up, I think. I might have even not completely filled it up yet, because there were these sides I needed to fill up, so. I think I ended up using about 2 stacks at least. Not just for this part of the build, but the build in total. I don't know if I recorded me going back into the nether to get all the shroom lights I needed, but I needed so many shroom lights. Just me throwing in some basic tower building. I think I ended up changing the structure of those. I just wanted to make sure they looked towery enough so I noticed they were there. Didn't want to forget about it. Me trying to measure if it was equal. It was not equal. In the end, it was 2 blocks off. So I rebuilt it. And then it was 3 blocks off, or 1 block off. So then I moved it back, and it took me, I think I had to rebuild that side a couple times. It was really annoying, and I was really upset. And I put some pattern in the sidewalls, but I was going to put on pattern in the whole thing. I just wanted to get those done, and you can see me committing a war crime against the poor traders, but I really want those leads, and I don't know how to get slimes yet. So yeah, you can see the little wall pattern. I put a little door center. This all got moved 2 blocks over in the end, I think. But it's a really fun pattern, and it gave that sort of gothic feel I was going for. I'm not a professional builder, I'm just learning stuff about gradients, and I just tried to use some gradients in this. I wasn't trying to make it look perfect. I wanted it to look better from close up than far away. So I didn't follow like all of those like mixing blocks and gradient rules. I felt like it would just look better if I made it sort of more of a monolith. Periodically I would take a pause to check references, or I built part of this, or at least structure similar, in my creative test world for this game, and I used that as a base to sort of figure it out. I literally spent like 10 minutes trying to pick up one block. So now that I have like the basic back texture, I decided to add in where my roofs would be and make sure I got those walls done, and I had a second upstairs set of walls that I was planning, and these required more shroom lights, so I laid down where approximately I thought they'd start, and then I filled in the start of the roofs. Fun fact, all but for 1 block pretty much. This entire thing was built in blocks you can get in vanilla, so if you want to recreate it, you are welcome to. It is mostly just deep slate and nether brick slabs. And later I add in a rose window, and I add in some other things, but I'm pretty sure the only things I used that weren't vanilla were the friendly bars. So here I am going to get as much netherrack as I possibly can. And I think I ended up probably gathering netherrack for 2 or 3 hours total in the end. Not this run, but over the like 5 or 6 runs I had to do. I would just fill my entire inventory, go back, set it up in the super smelter I built real quick, and then get to business on another part of the build while it did that. Sorry most of this episode is speed build, but I spent over a week on this project. I had been feeling really stifled in this game, and I couldn't figure out what exactly I wanted to build. So I focused on building something really grandiose and exaggerated, because I felt like, you know, it had been a while. This is much more normal to what I like to do. So I felt like it felt good to do it, you know? Do a big, silly build for once. I swear sometimes my ADHD is so apparent when I'm doing speed builds, because you'll just see me pause for like a minute solid and I'm doing nothing and just staring. And usually those times are when I'm like planning on something, or I'm thinking about what's in my inventory, or vice versa. I do a lot of like mental planning while I'm doing these builds. I had to redo this whole second level too, because that was when I was realizing, oh no, it's a couple blocks off. And I'm pretty sure it's still not even. I'm not gonna check, but I'm pretty sure it's not even, and I don't know how to fix it. So I think it's 1 block off in some part of this build, and I challenge you to find it. Please comment below where you find it 1 block off, and if you can figure out how to fix it. Because I do not have the brain capacity to do that. I have been so exhausted. Okay. So I found a flesh forest while I was exploring. I think that's part of plenty of biomes. I love these biomes a lot. I think they're really fun. And I figured out sort of like a harvesting method for how to get the shroom lights, because I needed so many shroom lights. I don't know how many we have left, maybe a stack, but like the main light source in this was going to be shroom lights for the longest time, because I love shroom lights. I think that they're much prettier than netherrack, and they give a nice fiery look. Not netherrack, what am I saying? I mean, netherrack you can set on fire, but glowstone. They look much better than glowstone in my opinion, so. There was a lot of problem solving to try to get as much as I could out of these things. I think I was watching, I don't know, like SVU while doing this. I would have like SVU in the corner on a different part of the screen, and I'd be building this. I ended up actually collecting some ender pearls too, so I was able to add the water fixture to the stables and take care of my horses there. And I did that off screen because, you know, periodically I would have to go check on them, because sometimes during the build they'd be loaded in, sometimes they wouldn't. So there was a lot of back and forth on making sure that I had everything in place I needed. I have so much flesh blocks now. So much flesh. I don't want to do this, but at some point I'm going to have to harvest more of those, so. I'm gonna have to get a bunch of Endermen, I'm gonna fight Endermen, and I don't want to fight Endermen. I don't like Endermen. They're really stressful to deal with. And I have the teleport mod for a reason. It's going to save my life when it comes to travel. Like, I know how to get to these places, but it just makes my life easier to not have to do the trek. And in some cases, I'm going to take the time-saving option. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it isn't. Like, finding it was fun, but getting back and forth is not fun. I'd have to spend hours just walking, and in modded Minecraft it can be a little bit more dangerous. So I just decided to skip that because I'm working on building right now. Maybe when I'm going on adventures more so I'll do it, but I tried multiple different styles of windows. I tried stained glass, I tried normal glass, I tried just bars, and I felt like the glow of the shroom lights plus some dark friendly bars, which are something in this mod pack, looked really, really nice. It made it feel more like a window than an actual window. So I really enjoyed that look, and I ended up implementing that everywhere. And here was my failed attempt at doing a squid spawner. I ended up just having to go hunt squid more for black dye, but it did not work. So I just had a fun little waterfall for a while. And I ended up harvesting bamboo for the super smelter. It's not even really a super smelter, it's like a kind of faster smelter. It just automatically loaded the supplies, and then I actually went a little exploring because I needed tons of wood. So now that you've seen some of the speed build, you can kind of get an idea of how big I was going for. And let's just say I may have gone a little bit bigger than expected. So yeah, this is the advanced nether portal cathedral. Yeah, I kind of accidentally made a cathedral. So I really wanted to go with like a Gothic church style, and as you can see, I think I succeeded. I think this looks like a Gothic church. Oh, hello. Do you have anything I want? Do I even have the emeralds to pay you? Nope, he has nothing I want. But yeah, so welcome to the Nether Cathedral. Yeah, so why don't I give you a bit of a tour? This is made, I would say, 90% to 95% in vanilla. The reason it was 95 was I made a horrible mistake partway through, and because of glitches, I was having to clear the sky because it was just not letting me place blocks easily whilst there was blocks going around, and I tried messing with the graphics. Here's a little side entrance. I tried messing with the graphics. I tried everything. It just would not listen. So I may have typed in /clear, which clears your inventory, but I had both of my backpacks that I had upgraded, a bunch of advanced stuff, just an absurd amount of supplies, and I don't even really know entirely what I lost. So what I did is I gave myself back the backpacks, and I checked what one of my random building chests, I checked what I needed left and what I had in supplies, and I kind of just polished it off with that because I was going absolutely mad. I had cleared my entire inventory. I think I even lost Racket's original Gene Journal, which bums me the heck out. But so I gave myself leniency, and I finished up the last 5% with creative because I was so upset. And I was like, I didn't want to quit the project. I wanted to finish. And I really felt like that was the only way to be fair to myself and let me finish. So let's go for the tour. I hope you liked the little walk around. So in the front windows, you can see there's lava in the glass windows, both in the towers and in the big rose window in the center. And I spent 3 hours gathering shroom lights, 6 stacks of shroom lights, some of which were lost to the great dyslexic accident of today. So, shroom lights are a major accent in this thing. Yes, all the dogs came over because they kept getting attacked. So I actually could add an extra block to stop the dripping. Kind of think it's fun. So yeah, here's the inside. Let me actually go back to give you the full beautiful view. Ugh, I've spent so many hours on this. You don't even know. Why did I do this to myself? This is supposed to be Horsecraft, not how to build a Gothic cathedral. But I decided to do this because I really wanted to try to mix things up. I wanted to try to work on building something new and enjoying myself a little bit on the building side of things because I love building. I spent a lot of time building in creative, so it was fun to try to build something in vanilla. My husband just sat there for a week just staring at me build. Oh, forgot to take that down. I'll deal with that later. That just goes to the outside part up there. So yeah, fun fact, I have been into a cathedral once. I have seen Notre Dame, but I've been into a church I think twice and a cathedral once. So I had to ask my husband, who is Lebanese Orthodox and used to go to church a couple times a year with his family, and then do a lot of referencing and researching. But I'm so proud of it. It's gorgeous in my opinion. My favorite thing about it are these windows with the dark friendly bars, which require ink. There was so much time lost. I'm just gonna say that there's so much time lost. So yeah, I'm super proud of it. There's the pews. I put this little lectern here as a joke at the end. And then I didn't do all the rooms. I have 4 or 5 rooms available. I only did a couple. This is the kitchen, which I'm pretty proud of. I don't remember who I saw do this, maybe Gemini Tay, but using these fireplaces and turning them off and then putting meat on them as a little storage thing. And then this is a little butcher's table with a smoker, and then a little sink, an actual sink, and then a little cooker. And then I put little supplies in here so I can, and these are all, a lot of these are just baskets and stuff. When I stacked all these things in a corner, I thought this was sort of a fun little decoration. Put a place to feed the dogs. Didn't do that one. If you have any ideas for what I should put in these extra rooms, feel free to comment. In here I'm planning on putting our place to do armor and stuff. But I really couldn't think of a way to decorate it nicely. And there is free-flowing lava from these two front towers, which I think is really fun. It helps light up the room nicely. It was a pain in the butt to figure out how to light up this space without it being all torches. And please excuse those torches. At some point I'll take them down, but, you know, it is high up. And then over here we have another empty room. And then another empty room, our little exit. And this is the enchanting table area with a dog bath because I'm silly goose. So we have an enchanting table, we have this. We'll have some places to put stuff. We have empty bookshelves to put as many books as we want. I don't have my sugarcane thing up yet, but it's very close, so it's not easy. It's not that hard to harvest. So let's go down here. So this is actually the first place that it goes to. This is just a big empty basement. I feel a little bad. I should have done more, but I couldn't figure out what to fill the space with, so I'm going to fill this space with probably some smelters, super smelters, stuff like that, supply places, you know. And then there's my shame, which I haven't moved my obituaries into yet. But I plan to put my obituaries in those chests because it is my shame, and I should bury it in the catacombs where it belongs. I'm also kind of proud of this stair wall. It feels kind of like, you know, both crypt and jail-y, because I deserve to go to jail for my crimes against Minecraft of how many times I've died. Over here, this is actually where I used to have my little dripstone cave that would produce dripstone and lava. Oh, perfect timing. But here I'm producing lava to be used as fuel or whatever. Here I am letting these dripstones grow to hopefully produce more dripstone so I can expand into whatever I want when it comes to dripstone. And then this is just a little storage depot. I can put whatever I want into these chests and I'll organize it fine. And then here's the other exit that goes the other side, excuse me. And yeah, so I really just didn't have much of an idea what to do with a lot of the space. But feel free to tell me what you think I should do. I'm just incredibly proud. I spent so much time on this. Like, it was an absurd amount of time spent, but I think it was well worth it for how gorgeous this is. And it even looks good on the mini-map. Like, how many people can say their builds look good on the mini-map? Alright. So that's where I'm going to call it for today. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a different thing, but getting back to the Horsecraft world. I plan to do more of these big builds, but hopefully take less time on them. But I'm incredibly proud. I mean, it's none of my other builds compare. Like, this is huge, and it spent I probably literally spent like an actual week on this boy. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.